Okay, so I want to start the EC2 section with showing you the different kind of output format we can have. So first of all, let me quickly get started with this command: EC2 AWS EC2 describe instances. Actually, let me do AWS configure first. Enter, enter, enter. Now the default output format, I'm going to say JSON. Okay, so even if you don't have anything in here, then by default it's JSON. But since I already changed it to table, I want to say JSON just to give you an idea, and we'll go back to table. But for now, if I say AWS EC2 describe instances, then this is the output I get. But then if I say AWS configure, AWS EC2 describe instances output table. So I can change. So this is the result of changing that style to table. Now if I were to right from here say output text, let's see what this does. So I can change that thing that I did on AWS configure right from each command too. So instead of being table, now it's text. So I can go back to JSON right from here. So I could say modify those things for each individual use. So by default it's table, but sometimes I would like to have some JSON spit it out. So okay, let's move on to some other things. So far we've outputted everything. So what I could do is I could describe instances, but then I could also grep instance ID. Let's see what this does. Okay, so I just want to see the instance ID, and I have it like this, right? So I could stop this specific ID. Now I could also, but what this is useful for is AMI ID. I don't know if this is a real thing. AMI, I don't know. Okay, so let me go back to just describe instances, and let's see what AMI I'm using. So this is the AMI, this is the Amazon Linux AMI, and I'm going to create an instance. So far I only have one instance. As you can see, there's only one instance. So instance, network, attachment, blah blah blah, right? But I'm gonna create an instance, AWS. Let me clear the screen first. AWS EC2 run instances, right? Run instances. Image ID, this is my image ID. Count, let me say I want to put up 2 count. Instance type t2.micro. I want to stay in the free tier. Key name, I don't think I have any key for this. I don't know. I mean, let's see what's the name of the key here. So the key that I'm using is EC2 key nuv. That's the one we just created earlier in the video. Okay, so the key name is this, and security groups not just group but security groups, is this. I think I need the actual name, not the, so I just said, okay, this is my security group. This is the name of the security group. So let's see if this works. Okay, so as you can see, the state reason, everything is pending, so it's being created. And if I go and describe my instances in a table format, I can see that, so this is one of the instances, and this part, the above part, is the second instance. So 2 instances. And just to make sure, if I just grab the instance IDs, then I have three instances. Well, I did create 2 instances from the command that I just did, run instances. So just to show you, so count equals count 2. So I created 2 instances. So I have currently 3 instances. The next thing I want to do is to clean this up even more. I want something clean, something like a dashboard that's well made, just custom made for myself. So I can do that through query. Okay, so I have this ready. So what I have here is AWS EC2 describe instances, right? We have been here so far, and we'll do a -- query reservations dot instances dot placement availability zone state name instance ID instance type and image ID, and we'll also add key equals name. So we'll have all the tags of key name also displayed to us. So and the value of 0. Now I found this online. I was actually having trouble finding how to display the tags properly. Everything else was easy. Everything else was right there in the documentation, but the tags wasn't that easy to find. But with this, what I can do is enter, and I can, now this is the tags, because I know how I named my EC2. So the EC2 that I'm using this CLI from is CLI try, right? The other 2 don't have any tags. So this is how you display a nice, nicely made custom dashboard for your preference. So we can try maybe adding something in here. I don't know, maybe security group. Let's try group ID. See if this works. None. Yeah. So I don't think that worked. Let's try. I don't know, groups. No, groups doesn't work too. So at this point, I'm just trying different things to add some of the things that would be helpful to me. So instance ID, maybe subnet ID. Okay, so I just added subnet ID, right? So I still have room over here, so why not try adding a few more other things, So I could say maybe VPC ID. Let's see if this works. Yep, so here's VPC. So we still have maybe room for 3 more, so let's keep adding. Alright, so why don't we add let's try to add our public IP, but I don't know if it's so public IP. Let's see if this works. No, that didn't work. Public IP association. I don't know, maybe association, because it was in under association. So let's try association, or maybe association.public IP. Nope. So I'll try one more thing, and we'll maybe move on. You know, this is just to show you that this is possible. Yeah, nothing came up. So let's move on. You know, we don't need to. The documentation is there for you to try other things. But the next thing I want to do is, you know, if I was to log into the EC2 that I just created. Now I'm inside an EC2, right? So I don't have the keys that I used to log into that EC2. So if I go to my management console and if I try to connect to one of those EC2s, connect. You know, I'm denied entry. So what I want to do is I want to create a key pair for future use. You know, I want to create a key pair that I will use to create another EC2. So for that, what I want to do is create a key pair. All right, let's go to the documentation right here. So I have the documentation to create a key pair. So AWS EC2 create key pair, key name, my key pair. I don't think I have my key pair. So and after I create the my key pair, I'm going to query. So let's do this. Let's not query or do anything for now. Okay, let's just make a key pair that so I'm gonna say my key pair 111, enter, and it will create a key pair for me. But you know, I have to. This is the output I got, and I have to save this. So it's not the best way to do it. So what I can do is instead of that, if I paste the thing that I just copied from the documentation, I can say my key pair query the key material and output the text to my key pair.pem. So enter. All right, so my key pair.pem should be available for me. I'm gonna chmod 400 my key pair.pem, so I can use this. Now what I'm gonna do is AWS EC2 run instances. Image ID is going to be Amazon Linux, which is this, and just gonna create one, so no count this time. Instance type t2.micro. So again, I want to stay in the free tier. Now this time key name is going to be my key pair, right? So let's try this. Now when I create an instance that way, it will go into the default security group. So I just I paused the video and I quickly checked to see that the security group had an incoming a rule of 22 to SSH into. Now we could try adding that on, by the CLI, and so authorize security group ingress, right? So right after this, before we try to SSH into the instance, what I'm gonna do is say AWS EC2 authorize security group ingress, group ID. What's the group ID? The group ID is this. So SG814134 F2 protocol TCP port 22 CIDR. I want to say anyone. 0.0.0.0/0. Enter. So I get already exists, but if I were to change this to 21, it'd be okay, because I already did that. So for you might need to do the ingress 22, because by default you don't have any ingress in the default security group. So when we do that, then we can now try to log into the instance. So this time what I'm going to try is, since we're in the same VPC, why not try SSH with the private IP? So let's quickly see if this works. So SSH EC2 user at the private IP, not the public IP, the private IP. There's I and my EC2 key pair. So yes, and we're in. We use the private IP. We don't need the public IP, because when you first create the instance, sometimes you might not get the public IP, right? So we can just use the private IP. So I'm inside the instance that I just created. So I'm going to exit out of that instance, go back to my instance that I was doing my work from. So let's do EC2. So once again, let's go all the way. Let's paste this command and see. Now I'm going to include all the commands in the documentation, or somewhere down somewhere with the file. So don't worry if you don't have everything. You can just copy and paste, or you can look at the commands somewhere by the video. So except for the CLI try, everything else is deletable, because CLI try is the one I'm using right now. So I want to delete everything else. So we can do AWS EC2 terminate instances. I'm going to copy. Let's try doing everything at once and see if it lets us. I know I can enter one at a time. Maybe we need to put a comma. Maybe this will work. So definitely don't, this doesn't work. So what I'm gonna, actually, terminate instances and instance ID. Instance IDs. Okay, I'm gonna get help. I'm gonna get help from the documentation. Terminate instances. So that's what I did. So terminate instances, instance IDs. Ah, I see. Enter. Oh, come on. Instance, terminate instances, instance IDs. I see what I did. Okay. So I just terminated one instance. Now I wanna remove this and try that thing one more time, where I try to terminate everything at once. And the first one is already terminated. There we go. So this is what I was trying to do, you know, instead of doing it one by one, do everything at once, and this is the right syntax. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here, and obviously there's a lot more to do, but with the EC2 I want to stop here, and I encourage you to try a lot more things, you know, maybe detach some EBS volumes and take some AMIs, create some snapshots, and make some AMIs of your instances. But I will be talking about VPCs. We'll be creating a